Guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. For my returning subscribers, welcome back. Thank you very much. If you're new here, please do subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment on what type of videos you'd like to see next. I promise I'm back, and I'm back for good. I was just going through a lot, like it was test week after I abandoned you guys, and let's just say a lot was at stake, but I handled that. And in terms of time management, I'm gonna do better so that I don't abandon you guys again. So on today's video, we are discussing business studies. My favorite. Business studies was my minimum effort, maximum results subjects. Like, I'm joking guys, a lot of effort, maximum results. So in particular, we are talking business studies essay, right? So a lot of people struggle to get full marks for their essays. People struggle in general with the essay. You don't know where to start, you don't know what your introduction should look like, you don't know what your body should entail, you don't know what your conclusion should be, right? And some of the people are there, but they're not fully there. What I mean by you're there, you're getting 38 out of 40, you're getting 36 out of 40, but you don't know what to do in order to get 40 out of 40. I got you. Alright, so in front of me here, I have the Business Studies Examination Guideline. Now, if you know, you know. In all of my videos, all my academic related videos, I'm always going to stress examination guideline. If you don't have an examination guideline for every single subject that you have, then I'm just going to put it straight to Gutu, because the examination guideline tells you exactly what is going to be in that paper, and it also tells you exactly what should be inside your business studies essay. So right, let me set more aside so I can upload a screenshot here of what I'm going to be going through. Right, so section C, business studies, this counts 40 marks, right? That is 27%. I don't know, to me that's a lot. 20%, 27% can be the difference that you need in order to get your 80%. So in order to know which essay they're going to ask, I'm going to get more into that in a different video, but today we're just focusing on business studies, the essay, and how to maximize your marks on it, right? So there's something called FLASO, right? So it's your facts, it's your layout, it's your analysis, it's your synthesis, and then it's your originality, right? So when they talk about facts, here you are going to get a maximum of 32 marks. Now remember, in your business studies essay, you are given 4 questions that you need to address, right? That means each question you should be writing minimum 8 points worth of questions, right? So what are 8 points worth of bullet points, right? So that means that because each bullet point is maximum of 2 marks, that means each bullet point 2, 4, 6, 8, meaning that you need to have 4 bullet points under each heading in order to maximize your marks. But I do not advocate for you going minimum. Like for my facts, I'd get like 50 over 32, and then I'd get the 32 maximum, meaning that your teacher will mark all of the facts that you put there, then it will be then transferred to a mark out of 32 basically, right? There's no negative marking in how many facts that you give. So in case maybe one fact that you give under a specific heading is incorrect, now you've given 6 facts under the second heading, you can still maximize your marks by getting 32 out of 32 because you gave more than what was required, right? So you can get, I think the maximum is 50, which is then taken down to 32. But if you, for example, give 4 points under each heading, now you are limiting yourself, because what if one of those points is incorrect? Now you're sitting with a 30 out of 32. That way you're losing your marks, right? So these are facts, purely knowledge based. My teacher would always say this is A, B, C. You need to apply your bum to your chair, guys. Sit with your examination guideline, see what exactly you need to know under each topic, and then be able to apply that when it comes to writing your essay. Then you've got your layout. So remember, you are writing an essay at the end of the day. This is where you must also be strong in English. English home language, English additional language, whatever. You must know how a layout of an essay looks like, right? So an essay will have an introduction, an essay will have a body, an essay will have a conclusion, right? We're gonna get to examples later on. For now, we're talking, okay, introduction, body, conclusion. You need to have this in your essay, and it needs to be clearly there. Introduction, like right, introduction, underline. Then you put your introduction point, and then you start with the first point that has been given to you. Let's give an example. Okay, so this is the paper that we wrote, NSC 2024 paper 1. Let's take a look at question 6. Now I want you to look at the questions that they want you to address in your essay, right? Number 1 is a selection procedure. Number 2 is a salary determination methods. Number 3 is the impact of fringe benefits. And then they say advise businesses on the benefits of induction. Now let's go and look at the memo. The introduction starts off by saying the human resources manager is responsible for selecting and appointing qualified and competent employees to avoid fruitless expenditure. Now notice how that wasn't asked in the questions that we are required to address, right? This introduction is showing the examiner your knowledge of the topic, but not addressing one of the questions that has been asked. So people miss the introduction mark because they want to start off by saying, the selection procedure is a procedure by which, no, you are addressing point number 1. We're not there yet. We want an introduction. Summarize the topic. So this here is about the HR, the human resources function, right? So what is the human resources function? You can even start with that, you see? And then here it says, businesses use different salary determination methods to appropriately compensate the employees according to the kind of work done or task they perform. So that's bullet point number 2. But what did the question ask? The question says, explain 2 salary determination methods. Making a mistake here would be saying the 2 salary determination methods are, what are they? Time related, and what are they again? There's one where you paid according to time, and there's one where you paid according to the number of products that you produce, right? So now your mistake would be telling us that the 2 different types of salary determination methods is time and products produced, right? You are answering the question. Instead, businesses use different salary determination methods to appropriately compensate their employees. See how you're not answering the question? That is the key to the introduction. Do not answer any of the questions that have been asked. Instead, give 2 points that show your understanding of the topic, that, ma'am, sir, I studied this topic and I know what are the other points. Basically, you see how there's many headings under a topic, right? Address another heading, but still under the human resources function topic, you understand, in your introduction. Same for your conclusion. It must not answer any of the points that have been given, but show your understanding of the work. You get what I mean? Let's look at the conclusion points that were given in this paper. They gave here, competent employees who have been selected with the use of prescribed requirements and criteria will add value to the business. Do you see how they are showing the understanding of the selection procedure? Because after we've selected a person, they're obviously going to come with their skills. They're going to come with their human capital to do what? To add value to the business. However, this was not a question that was asked, but this is you showing your understanding. Then it also says, businesses can avoid unnecessary dispute by paying their employees according to the appropriate salary determination methods. See how in the body we addressed the different types of salary determination methods. Now think of the after effects. If a person is not paid correctly or paid fairly, there's obviously they're going to take the business to unions, etc., etc. So you are showing the understanding and the application of the work in your introduction and conclusion without actually answering the question that have been asked. So that's the key to securing your 2 marks for your layout. All right, and now I move on to point number 3, analysis. So it basically says here, all headings addressed. They've given you 4 points to address. Address all 4. Now here's another tip as well. Even though you don't know, maybe you get stuck and you forget certain facts that must go under a certain heading. Even if you can put 1 fact under that heading, you have addressed that heading. So what happened with me is that there were 4 points, right? For the heading number 1, I wrote like 10 facts. Heading number 2, I wrote like 10 facts. Then heading number 3, I couldn't remember, so I wrote like 2 facts. And then question number 4, I again write like 10 facts, right? Even though I haven't given that heading, it specified 8 marks, right? Because of the amount of facts that I had in the other questions, I still obtained a 32. This is why I'm an advocate of overwriting. Rather give 10 points than give 2 points. So that even if you forget, the fact that you now have 10 points in one question and you have 2 points in another question, you're gonna get that 1A because you've addressed it, even though you addressed it with maybe 1 fact or 2 fact. The fact that in the other question you have maybe gotten already secured yourself 16 fact marks, even if you can secure yourself 2 fact marks here and then another 16 fact marks in question 3, when they add all of that up together, you're going to get your 32 points. So make sure that you address all of the headings. And then your interpretation, are you addressing it correctly? Basically, are the actual points underneath the heading the ones that are underneath in your notes? And then that's how you score your 2 points for analysis. Then you get to synthesis, right? Is your work flowing well? That's basically what it means. Are your things making sense? Like, as you can see here, it says no relevant facts. So trust me, a person can have 2 pages worth of an essay but be writing about history stuff. Just because you have facts there doesn't mean that they're necessarily correct, you see. So these points, you're basically getting them for having the correct facts there. If you have just relevant facts, it means all of the facts that you have addressed are purely from the textbook, you should get your 2 points. However, if some of them are from the textbook, then some of them you sort of thumb sucking them, then you're going to get a 1. If all of them are just nowhere related to business studies, unfortunately you're going to get 0. So that's how you get your 2 marks for synthesis. All right, now let's move on to originality. Originality is something that I myself struggle with. One thing about me, I was always very inquisitive. I was not the learner that gets their marks back and doesn't go to inquire, what happened here? Like, that was me. I go to the teacher and I ask, how did I lose this mark? I want to understand so that I can do better. Like, if I go and inquire, ma'am, how did I lose this mark? Trust that it is the last time I ever lose that mark, because I'm going to learn from that mistake, right? So I think I was in grade 10 where we first wrote our essay and I got 38 over 40, right? So I went and asked, ma'am, where did the 2 marks go, right? So ma'am was like, your originality, you did not have something original there. So basically what they want here is for you to show your understanding of the outside world. We're talking of the human resources function, for example, human resources function, right? What is happening in the outside world? For example, XYZ company was sued by their employees after having different salary determination methods for workers that are working the same job, and they were compensated 10 billion on the 4th of February 2026. Do you see how I'm relating a real life example to the content that is in the textbook? That's basically what they're looking for in order to give you the 2 marks for originality. So I know that you need to have 2 examples now. My teacher told me this last year because I used to put 1 example and I'd get the 2 marks. But then I remember when my papers were went to get moderated externally in matric, I lost 1 mark because the moderator was like, I need to have 2 examples. So 2 examples of the work that you have. Let's see here with one of the essays. So the last question for the 2024 paper, it says advise businesses on the benefits of induction, right? So you put there your 8 points. It's okay. The benefits of induction is that a person will be able to feel more comfortable in the working place and therefore contribute to more productivity because they are comfortable, they know who they are working with, right? Then you say example. Whatever company conducted a survey on 2023 on the 3rd of February, and they found that employees that are inducted properly are more likely to, now you state your fact there, okay? You are showing your understanding, it's okay. Now for this to work, you need to know, you need to have a good understanding of the content of your paper and the 2 different types of essay that they could possibly ask, and prepare examples beforehand on those topics, right? You see, now you're showing your understanding, it's okay. Fringe benefits, this is happening in the real life world. for them, right? Also, use AI for this. AI can basically help you with anything, but just make sure to double check whatever AI gives you. Double check it, like, is it correct? Okay, so I'm gonna put up a video of me asking AI how the prompt that you must give it for it to give you something directly that you can use in your business studies essay for your originality. Do not forget to fact check this. Go into Google and ask Google, did this actually happen? You know, because that's what your teacher will do. If you say this company found on this date, they're gonna put that company and that date, and they should be able to find it on Google in order for you to score your 2 marks for originality. Right, what's next? Oh, that is it. That was fun. I really hope that this helps you guys into securing 40 out of 40, 100% for your business studies essay. And I'm really hoping that everyone can do well and get distinctions for business studies. That would be so amazing. If this video was helpful for you, please do not forget to subscribe, to like, leave a comment on what video you'd like to see next. Remember, tell your friend to tell your friend that there's a new girl in town that's giving good academic advice, I hope. Thank you very much. Bye. See you next time.